1 is preparing to throttle down. This is in preparation for max Q, which is maximum aerodynamic pressure. That call out for throttle down. Power and telemetry continue to be nominal for the vehicle, now traveling at 262 meters per second. Call the Falcon 9 is supersonic, and we will be passing through Max Q very shortly, the largest structural road during ascent.
Max Q.
There's that call out. That Falcon has passed through Max Q. And we've just entered Stage 1 Bravo abort mode. That's going to take them through the end of the first stage burning just before second stage activates off the coast of North Carolina. Plus 1 minute and 40 seconds into flight, Dragon and Falcon 9 traveling 709 meters per second. That call, the MVAC chill is underway, the Merlin vacuum engine.
MVAC chilling, similar to what we saw in the first stage Merlin engines. The second stage engine being prepared for its ignition, coming up in just over 30 seconds from now. We're a half a minute away from 3 quick events in rapid succession. We're going to get main engine cut off. The 9 Merlin engines will throttle down and then shut down. We're going to get stage separation.
Stage 1 throttle down.
And then ignition of the second stage engine. We begin the throttle down in preparation for stage separation.
Stage separation confirmed.
And you see that stage separation has confirmed. There goes that MVAC engine. Stage 2. Crew 1 is now on their way to the International Space Station. On the right side of your screen, you see Stage 2 continuing to burn. Over on the left-hand side is Stage 1 preparing for its return to Earth.
Left side, you can't make out much. It's a couple hours after sunset in Florida, but the grid pins have deployed on the first stage. The first stage is now unpowered, but with the velocity it has, it continues to coast up to an apogee before it begins to descend back into Earth's atmosphere. Now, as we watch, maybe we'll see the lights of Florida or the eastern seaboard in the background, but otherwise there's not going to be much to see. On the right-hand side,
Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
you can hear the call out. Trajectory is nominal.
Nominal trajectory.
And we've heard call out Bermuda. That means Bermuda ground station has the signals from the second stage of the Dragon and Falcon 9.
We're still continuing as Stage 2 burns to listen for those abort zones. We are now in 2A through 2E to Echo, taking us up over the northern Atlantic.
The second stage engine blowing with the standard that we have come to see over all these missions, indicates everything's looking good. Power on the MVAC engine continues to run at 220,000 pounds of thrust in the vacuum of outer space.
Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
And trajectory nominal.
Nominal trajectory.
We hear the reply from the crew acknowledging we have a nominal trajectory. Dragon made it to the Falcon 9 second stage, heading into the low Earth orbit, where Dragon will then separate and begin its trip the rest of the way to the space station.
Second stage engine cutoff coming up at 8 minutes and 48 seconds after launch today, so about 3.5 minutes from now. Dragon and Falcon 9 second stage currently flying 2,979 meters per second.
First stage has begun its descent. It is 30 beginning to come back down, where if coming up in another couple of minutes, we will have the entry burn, where we begin to slow down the first stage.
SpaceX trajectory nominal.
Copy, nominal trajectory. Another call out, another nominal trajectory, just what we love to hear.
That voice you're hearing on board Dragon, that's Commander Mike Hopkins speaking for our 4-person crew as they continue their journey now 6 minutes and 12 seconds after liftoff. Trajectory still nominal.
See on the indicator altitude, 201 kilometers. We're now beginning to essentially level out and pick up velocity to get us into low Earth orbit.
This an event in the American culture that endures, perhaps still making the hair on the back of your neck stand up. The night launch, perhaps adding to the atmosphere, at least through television. The launch in May, paving the way for this. That historic in the sense that for the first time ever, a private company launched astronauts into space. That was a 2-man crew riding this same model capsule to the ISS, staying for about 2 months before splashing down in the Gulf of Mexico in August. For these 4 astronauts, their capsule called Resilience, they chose that name to recognize, well, 2020, a year that has been marred by the coronavirus, they say, and national unrest and a contentious election. Dragon itself has completed 22 flights to and from the space station. It was designed from the start with human spaceflight in mind. Even the first cargo Dragon had a window. Still, this now only the second time that actual astronauts are on board.
We're going to get about 70% of the velocity of that drop-in first stage by the time this landing burn completes. Time the entry burn completes, which is now over. First stage on target for the drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Meanwhile, we're watching second stage getting close to getting into orbit.
That's right, we've got about 30 seconds more.
Internal guidance.
And now just about 20 seconds more of stage 2 continuing to burn until we see second stage engine cutoff, or SECO. We'll coast for a few minutes afterwards to allow the race in motion. And there's that call for Shannon. That's Shannon, Ireland, an abort zone, but it looks like we continue smoothly to orbit today.
And we've got shutdown of the second stage engine on time.
Dragon SpaceX nominal orbit insertion. Launch stage system is disarmed. And SpaceX copy.
And Leah, the words we like to hear, a nominal orbit insertion.
That's right, John. Nominal orbit insertion, as we mentioned, stage 2. Oh, looks like some action on stage 1. We've had a touchdown on the drone ship.
We've got stage 1 has touched down on the drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. But now, the more important news, second stage is in orbit, right where we want, right on time. And we're getting ready for our next major activity, which will be Dragon spacecraft separation. Now, currently on the second stage, we are essentially venting pressure, purging the engine out, making sure everything is quiet in preparation.
Take a look. That's inside Crew Dragon right now. Our Crew 1 crew now coasting in low Earth orbit, still attached to that second stage. In just a couple of minutes, we should see that second stage separate, and Crew Dragon will be flying free.
Is set to dock at the International Space Station tomorrow night at about 11 o'clock. It takes hours for the capsule to actually catch up to the space station, which is traveling at more than 17,000 miles an hour. The capsule gets near the station and technology helps it to get closer safely. It then takes hours again for the crew to ensure no leaks and that the pressure is just right before this crew will be able to join others safely on the ISS. Vice President Pence is scheduled to be here tonight. Pence has said in recent years that the U.S. is expecting to put astronaut boots on the moon by 2024. That part of the pressure that has been added to NASA and SpaceX in this public-private partnership. Elon Musk, the head of SpaceX, tweeting just a few moments ago about the safety measures in place for the crew. Musk was set to be at the Kennedy Space Center, but he has said he probably has a mild case of COVID. He said he got different test results from different labs, so there's that, of course, COVID weaving its way into the story here, as is typical. NASA has asked crowds to stay away near in local areas in Florida. Newspapers in Florida reporting that's not necessarily happening, as was the case back in May.
And separation confirmed. You can see that second stage departing. Crew Dragon leaving it behind. Into today's flight, our next thing we'll be looking for is nose cone deploy. Our hooks will start to open on the nose cone and reveal those forward thrusters underneath.
Of this critical event on our digital platforms, our complete interview with NASA astronaut Steve Bowen, conducted earlier today, is posted right now on the News 12 app, as well as other links and media information about today's launch and mission. So if you want more, please do check that out. Bowen was a great interview, giving us great insight into what the anxiety and the emotion of an event like this can be for an astronaut. And he helped us understand the bigger picture here as we look at the modern day space race in this new sense. SpaceX, to a degree, leading the way here. News 12 continues right after this.